Catherine, is there one big thing you would change in the Star Wars sequel trilogy that would have made them better? Like the prequels, you would have Anakin older in the first film. I think that it's a lot more difficult because, like on the prequels, I look at those and I go, George Lucas, big picture, I think he had a great idea, but he's not great in the execution. So you're building off, there's an idea that you can say, how do we rework this to better capture what George Lucas was going for? Keep all the things we like, but optimize better. You look at the sequels, and it's kind of the opposite problem. That you've got some people that are stronger screenwriters, people that enjoy directing more, but the big idea was nothing. There was no big idea. There was 17 big ideas. And then there was course correction and everything like that. And so, depending on who you talk to, what article you read, which report you look at, there's all these different speculations as to, did they have a plan at the beginning, but Rian Johnson changed the plan, or did JJ set up Rian for failure? Like, what point in time did JJ change the direction? Like, it's a mess. Because there wasn't leadership. There wasn't a vision for what they were trying to do. And I've said this before, but a big part of the problem with modern Star Wars, or classic Star Wars, was inspired by all of these things that George Lucas found interesting. And so he loved Flash Gordon. He loved Akira Kurosawa. He loved Westerns. He was very interested in some of the politics coming out of Vietnam, and then how did the Nazis gain power? And then with the prequels, then it was in the Bush era, and there was all sorts of ideas about the Patriot Act and surrendering freedom for safety. And of course, he was always inspired by mythology.
You know, I don't feel a lot of pressure. It's kind of fun. I'm getting to do a lot of research, which I love to do. And
eventually by the works of Joseph Campbell, and talked with Joseph Campbell, was interviewed by him. They both interviewed each other, brought all of that into Star Wars. That's what George Lucas did. He had faults in his execution, in his writing, in his directing, but he was bringing all this stuff to the table. Contrast all that stuff, all those things that inspired George Lucas. What inspires modern Star Wars is past Star Wars. It's a copy of what came before. It's not we're going to bring all of these inspirations from the outside in and continue the lore and mythology with fresh new ideas. It's how do we recapture the past? And that's, you even look at some of the stuff, even things I loved, like The Mandalorian. What did it turn into? Hey, look! That's a character from Clone Wars. Look, that's Luke Skywalker. He was in the original movies. Hey, look. And it was all about reminding us of past Star Wars. And it's reminiscent of past Star Wars rather than bringing new stuff in. It's creative inbreeding. Creative inbreeding. And that's even kind of why, for a lot of us, Andor was something we were like, oh, that was really cool. I liked that. Because it did bring something new to the table in the way that it was exploring the politics and stuff. And some people say, Last Jedi brought in new stuff. Did it? Did it? Because it's very much Empire Strikes Back with the throne room scene from Return of the Jedi thrown in there, except like, let's make Luke have a different personality without doing enough time to build up to it. Like, it was different in the wrong sense. It was different in like, Luke doesn't seem like himself anymore. And ending with a lightsaber battle, let's be subversive and not do that. You want to see Luke battle? No. That's just being subversive for subversive's sake, but it's not really pulling in outside influences and outside ideas. And so it's tough to say, here's the one thing I would change. Because it's not like a plot point. Because there was no, it's just such a mess that you don't know what there wasn't a thing they were trying to do that they just executed poorly. The thing is what was missing. So the change would be pick someone to be the vision caster. Whether that's to say that we have one person that's writing the trilogy and one director, or maybe it's a writer-director doing the entire thing. I'm not really sure exactly what that means. But it's not Kathleen Kennedy hiring the director of Jurassic World and Looper and Star Trek and the Game of Thrones people and Jon Favreau and be like, just do stuff. You're big names, do stuff. No. You get someone that has a vision for Star Wars that's trying to figure out what that next thing is, that's bringing in influences with a unified vision. That's what it would need to be. And that's what was missing. There a vision for what the trilogy would be. And like, I think the part that even gets kind of sad is like, I think Rian Johnson might have actually been able to do that if it had just been him. And it wasn't him like playing baton with J.J. Abrams, and J.J. Abrams like, I'm going to put Luke on an island over there. Like J.J. Abrams did a TED Talk about his mystery box and how it's great to have these mysteries and you don't know what's going on. And so that's what the thing that he's good at for a long time is having this intrigue. The problem is he was never good at giving the answer to what the thing in the box is. He's just got his mystery box. And so he passes his mystery box to Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson has to come up with a reason as to why Luke is living on an island by himself doing the Yoda thing. Except there's not, like, no work has been done to give an explanation to set it up. So it just feels like out of blue, like, yeah, Luke was trying to kill his nephew one day. You know, he had a moment of weakness, was trying to kill him for a second there. Then he decided not to. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel earned. But Rian Johnson had been able to do all of it. He would have had a story that he was telling over 3 movies. Maybe so. I don't know. Maybe he was always a terrible pick. I don't know. I like Looper, and I like Knives Out. I like his other stuff besides Last Jedi, but anyway, that's my rambling answer. Real quick, today's video is brought to you by Magic Spoon. Growing up, I loved cereal. I'd eat cereal with milk in the morning, and then I'd eat cereal straight out of the box in the afternoon. But as I get older, I don't like the sugar and the empty carbs so much. Magic Spoon is a cereal that's high protein, 0 sugar, and that's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, and soy-free. They offer a variety pack that has 4 flavors: cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter. This pack has 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and 4 to 5 grams of net carbs, and only 140 calories per serving. In my house for the last 2 years, we've always kept Magic Spoon in the pantry. My favorite flavor is actually to mix cocoa and peanut butter together, and I'll just eat it as a snack while I watch movies. Go to magicspoon.com/Sean Chandler to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use promo code Sean Chandler at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed by a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, you will get a 100% refund, no questions asked. Remember to start the new year off right with a delicious bowl of high-protein cereal at magicspoon.com/Sean Chandler and use code Sean Chandler to save $5. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring today's video.